'Twas a night before Christmas, and all across the land, the good folks of WestJet had a miracle planned. On the eve before flying, the guests were in their beds. Visions of traveling danced in their heads. While out on the runway, something secret had arrived. It was left in the lounge. 'Twas a Christmas surprise.
Is that Cohen? What are you looking for Christmas this year, Cohen? A choo-choo train? Ho, ho, ho! A classic! Do you like Thomas?
Yeah,
What would Mommy and Daddy like for Christmas?
Big TV.
yeah, big TV.
Ho, ho, ho! A big TV! You're looking fabulous!
Oh, I need to.
It's okay if you just want to stare at me as well. Ho, ho, ho!
What I need is new socks and underwear.
An Android tablet.
Is that William beside you? And Cameron?
Some Santa boots.
Duck stuff installed.
While the guests told their Christmas wishes to good old St. Nick, WestJetters took notes and got ready to shop quick. It was a great rush with the 2 flights in the air to get all those presents. Not a moment to spare.
The sleigh bells ring and there's children singing tonight. Lights are bright and I know it's a beautiful sight. Snowflakes fall in the world and snowy and white. And Santa's coming to town and he's coming tonight.
Okay, Thomas, let's get it.
Christmas cheer and celebrations all across the line. This time of year, expectations waiting for the man.
Thanks for flying with us at WestJet. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of your flight.
Happy faces were all so merry and bright. Santa's coming to town, he's coming tonight.
But was everything ready? We all had to wait for the moment of truth at Carousel 8.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
No way!
Where's the Hughes family?
The guests never expected what they'd asked of St. Nick would actually appear. It was all quite a trick. A WestJetter would say it was more than mere fun. Miracles do happen when we all work as one. We'll give Santa the last word on this most special night.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good flight. Ho, ho, ho!
Right, good morning to everyone. Welcome to another edition of Service Management Lecture, and that's one of the best promotions and which was done across the globe by WestJet, and it was one of the brilliant case studies that I have ever went across of surprising consumers through brilliant service approach and also one of the best physical evidence that you have been given to a consumer. Right. So with that, we will switch into our lecture today, and let's see what we have in store for you. Right. Hope everyone can see the screen. Yeah. So it's service marketing, lecture 9, right? And we are heading towards the last bit of the lectures, which I have enjoyed a lot. And today you will see two lectures combined, that is managing service evidence first, and let's see what we have. Okay. So we have you justify the needs of physical evidence to manage customer experience, discuss the dimensions of service environment, develop strategies in designing the service environment in order to create service excellence. So this is what you are going to learn on a very quick session. I have taken a different approach now. You guys are third year students, and also you can now read concepts and see through. That's all what I'm asking from you. See the concept, see the theory, and see through, and then it's easy for you to visualize as to what this theory is all about. All right, so marketing environment. We have two environments. That's macro and micro. So you know what is macro environment is. That's the personal factors, and also the micro environment, which is the organization factor. But beyond that, there's another thing called service marketing environment. So now, what is this is all about? What is this is all about? Service marketing environment. The service environment includes all aspects of the organization's physical facility or service scape, as well as other tangible aspects of tangible communications. The service environment is used as a criteria in evaluating service by consumer. Effective design of physical tangible evidence is a requirement for successful service. Servicescape is often used as a positioning tool for service organizations. Now, you need to know that this physical evidence is absolutely vital in delivering a service, right? Now, you can't neglect. This is why I wanted you all to visit certain entities to gauge what is their physical evidence is all about. The purpose of service environment. The service environment influences buyer behavior in three ways. First, message creating medium, symbolic cues to communicate the distinctive nature and quality of the service experience. Message creating medium. So it's a when you go inside McDonald's, you will see that their message is being communicated to you. Attention creating medium to make the service scape stand out from other competing establishments and to attract customers from target segment. Attention creating medium. When you see the big M, you know that's McDonald's that's coming up. When you see Food City, that big round, you know that Food City ahead. So it's attention creating medium to make the service scape stand out from other competing establishments and to attract customers from target segments. Effect creating medium, colors, texture, sounds, scents, and spatial design to enhance the desired service experience and or to heighten an appetite for certain goods, services, or experience. If you go to Starbucks, you will basically get to know that coffee smell, right? And you will indulge with that. When you visit Candos shop in Colombo, you'll get that chocolatey feeling. So helps the firm to create distinctive image and positioning that is absolutely unique. Message creating medium, attention and effect. Message, attention and effect is what physical evidence is doing for any service in that case or any product orientation. If you go to You will basically smell the beautiful smell of delicious smell of biscuits. You will witness it, right? You go to Sampath Bank, you'll feel that you are in a very safe environment because of those lightings and all that. Go to Java Lounge, you will feel that you are in an international level coffee shop, right? You go to Delhi, France, you know that you are in World Trade Center and eating some delicious food that been prepared in international standards. If you go to Sponge outlet in Gaul Road, you know absolutely you'll get that cakier smell, you know. And I was speaking to Akanta just a couple of months ago, the owner of Sponge. He said, "This is my forte." If you go to say to Taco Bell, you will get that feeling. So this is what physical evidence do to a service, right? So service marketing environment, physical evidence, yes, it's like how you dress well, you know. It's like how you dress up. You show who you are the way you dress, right? So don't ignore don't take it easy that how you dress is what you are. It portrays that who you are, right? Your hair, your makeup, your blazer or your t-shirt that you're wearing, your perfume that you're wearing, your wristwatch, everything shows who you are. So that's physical evidence in simple terms. So just like that, in service organizations, the buildings, the interior, the sound effects, the scents, everything matters. So physical evidence is how you make it up and show your impression to the consumer, right? What is physical evidence? May be defined as any object, impression, or body element that can be used to prove or disprove facts relating to an offense. Right? It is especially valuable because it often carries greater weight in court than evidence obtained through witness statement. Now, this is something else that I'm talking about, right? Physical evidence is examined and analyzed by forensic scientists found at the scene. Now, if you look at from a crime scene, physical evidence is what you see at the scene. What you see at the scene, right? So when you enter into HSBC, what you see at the scene will definitely catch you, and you get glued to it, right? And if you're in the target audience, you get glued to it. If you go to the Crosspen Center at Liberty Plaza, you feel that you are in a very wow environment that fits you, that fits definitely to your personality. So the impact of physical evidence therefore has these elements. Now you guys have to think through. So environmental stimuli is that ambience, space, signs, symbols, and artifacts, right? That goes into the physical evidence. Thoughts and feelings that affects the cognitive behavior, emotional behavior, and psychological behavior. Behavioral response, customers approach or they might avoid, employees, productivity, job satisfaction, service quality, staff turnover. And thoughts and behavioral will influence customers and employees. So even for employees, the physical evidence inside the office structure has to trigger productivity, has to trigger job satisfaction. If you go to Unilever's, right? If you go to their main headquarters in Colombo, I mean, it's a kind of a branded university. Believe me, I love to be there. Unilever headquarters in Colombo, right? I categorically say because from the time that you enter from that door, the way you've been led to that office, and when you climb that staircase, it's a branded world. You have Lux on your corner, you have Life Boys, and when you go inside, it's a massive space branded as you are in an absolute branded world. I mean, this physical evidence, you should visit. I mean, you know that one of your colleagues working in Unilever, and arrange a field visit quickly and see how physical evidence matters to an employee. And that enhance productivity, job satisfaction, service quality, and staff turnover. Staff turnover means people leaving from the organization. It will become less if you have a particular environment been created for employees. If you look at CodeGen, just next to our school here over in Maradana, I mean, see how CodeGen has created the environment, the physical environment is absolutely brilliant. So, I have worked for many service organizations, and if you look at Janashakti Life Insurance, if you look at SoftLogic Insurance, these what do you call these entities have created that particular environment, which is absolutely necessary for a consumer to be satisfied, right? So this is the impact of physical evidence, right? So you need to visit. I mean, if you look at an airline like Singapore Airlines or Qantas Airline, when you get into the airline, once it's come landed in the airport, and it will take little time to clean the whole thing up. They'll wash the aircraft, they'll clean up the entire floors, they take the cushions off, they'll do a lot of things to satisfy you. When you enter, when you go on boarding, you will see that the aircraft smells good. That's the first impression, guys. And when you see the air hostess coming in while you're checking in, and you'll see, wow, their dress coding, their makeup. So you feel like you're at home. You feel like you're being taken care of. Now, I happens to go here, Village 6 Cinemas in Fiji, where I was working for about 4 years. And when you go into Village 6 Cinema, we happen to go there very oftenly, you feel that you are in a cinema. You feel that you are in an international cinema. So this is physical evidence. And you're treated well. You're treated absolutely well. Now that atmosphere is being created. I see that in Colombo City Center movie theater. Same atmosphere. You've been treated well. Those staff, absolutely good. They talk to you. They call you and ask you, aren't you coming to see this new film? Right? When you hop into that cinema at Colombo City Center, my gosh, you have that feeling of that you are in a cinema. Now that is one thing. And also SUA private hospital. Actually, this slide should come first. Yeah, this slide should come here. Okay, this is SUA private hospital. SUA is the capital of Fiji, where I'm supposed to reside, and where my daughter was born in this hospital. This is brilliant, breathtaking hospital. I mean, it's like you are visiting. It's like you're at home. SUA private hospital. The physical evidence is absolutely brilliant. From the time that you enter, they take care of you, right? And look at how neat it is, right? And there's so much more. And even the beds, the nurses, the sisters are brilliant. So this is why there is a government hospital, but we are not triggered to go, but we triggered to go to this particular hospital in the capital. Bit expensive, but the service is brilliant. It smells good. Now I see this same element happening in Lanka Hospital. That's why I always go there. I see this element happening in Durden's. That's why we go there. So guys, this physical evidence is absolutely creating a huge impact in your mind. If you look at Sampath Bank, I love this building. I love the atmosphere. All my accounts are at Sampath Bank. Why? Because I love it. I love that physical evidence. I love the way they treat people. A bank should treat their customers as gold. And physical evidence shows that you are well taken care of and you have that ambience going on, right? So that's Sampath Bank. And if you look at the interior, this orangish thing triggers patience. And when you're queued up, right? When if the staff sees that you are at a very not manageable position, they'll call you and they'll take care of you. So physical evidence is all about that. Now I have run through Singapore Airlines, Village 6, Suva Private Hospital in Fiji Islands, right? And of course, Sambat Bank and its interior. I gave you all an assignment to visit certain service organizations, which you all did not. Only Pavani visited, right? I heard Chamara and Kasun did it, but this is why you need to see it, touch, and feel the service. You can't see it from outside. When you are a third year student that is about to get into the to this big world of business, you need to see these things. Right now, without this knowledge, you can't write an answer to a question paper because you don't know. You are just assuming things. So guys, I'm telling you, still not, it's not too late. I prefer if you can go and visit these outlets, right? Service excellence. Okay, now I'm going to take you through some models how service excellence can be done. Service excellence can be done in a proper way. That you have to have a strategy, you have to have a design, you have to have a transition, you have to have an operations, and you have to have continual improvements. If you take one by one, strategy is your portfolio strategy, financial management, service portfolio management, reliance management. So these are the release management, sorry. This is your strategy. Strategy has to have a design. So the design consists of capacity, availability, security, continuity, demand management, service catalog management. So I have done all this for you, right? Transition planning and support, service assets and configuration management, change management, service validation and testing, knowledge management, deploy management, evaluation. So that's your transition. Operation, service desk, you have to have a service desk, incident management, event management, so on and so forth. And now finally, continuity, quality, right? The 7 steps of improvement process, quality management system, business questions for CSI, ROI for CSI, service management, service reporting. Now, all these get together, you have a service operation in place, and that's what our topic is about, service excellence. So, to achieve service excellence, all these has to come together. By now, I'm pretty sure that you are very well versed with service. So, I don't have to take you through in detail because it's 80% been covered, right? So, when you put all this together, and I have taken you through many examples, when you put all this together, you have a service excellence landscape coming through. Customer retentions, customer relations, customer retention, customer relationship marketing, and service recovery. Now, this is absolutely vital for the service industry because CRM, customer retention management, is key, right? You've been experiencing, I've been telling you that one of my friends have going through a very rough patch with a bank in Sri Lanka, right? Now they don't know how to retain. Now, if this guy go to courts, this guy will win, right? So customer retention, customer relationship marketing, and service recovery is absolutely key when you're working for a service organization. So appraise the importance of winning customer loyalty in service marketing, discuss the various customer relationship development strategies in creating service excellence, analyze the impact of service failure on customer satisfaction in organizations, propose service recovery strategies to given scenario of service failure, practice service marketing approaches in solving service related issues in an organization. Now this is what you're going to know in concepts, and you have to put it to practice because I have been taking you through, and now you are supposed to visit an organization and question them and to submit a report. I feel 3 people only did it, but I hope all will do it because it might come in your exam papers. Who knows, right? Okay, let's see. Customer loyalty starts with customer acquisition, the assurance phase, right? And then that satisfaction leads to customer development, the education and bonding phase. Now, if you're satisfied, it goes to customer commitment, the sales phase. That satisfied goes to customer retention, the continuation and activity phase, right? Now, this is very, very simple. You get a consumer, right? Educate the consumer, sell your service, and keep the customer. I have done this over and over again, right? If you look at the first batch, there are about 6 kids that I've been recruited, and they are absolutely happy. Acquisition, development, commitment, and retention. So it's very easy. You get a consumer, you can't find a consumer. You can lose a consumer, but you can't get a consumer quickly. So when you get a consumer, right, education and bonding phase, you need to educate him so that the bond will be there. And then you go to the sales phase, right? Once the bond is made, you can sell it, sell through it, right? Then the continuation and activity phase, right? How to keep the consumer. So that's a very simple model for you to understand. Now, the biggest thing, CRM strategies. Now, CRM is bigger. Now, this is the concept, the customer loyalty cycle. Now, from there, we need to have a rapid program to manage this consumer or the customer. Right. Now, if you take a very simple scenario, travel operation, right? So I have to travel to Switzerland. So I search info, then I'll book my thing, right? And then on property, right? Okay, I'll take the flight and I'll stay, and then I'll post stay. So this is the customer journey in a travel aspect. Okay, now just keep that in mind. Now, CRM strategy and customer experience, it's outside in and inside out. There has to be two factors, right, going in. Outside in, design, voice of customer, right? Personas and journeys of customers, customer insight and culture. Now, I covered all this for you. It goes through, right, customer experience, and it comes to customer retention or relationship management. It goes into field service, customer service, digital commerce, sales, and marketing. Okay, so outside in, it's your design, voice of the customer, personas and journeys, and then customer insights and culture will take the customer experience. And through CRM, which has all these facts, comes together, you retain the consumer, right? We'll go further up. Now, what is a CRM strategy? Now, this is very, very important. Okay, we'll start with hardware. This side is 100% editable, adapt to your need, and capture your audience attention. Deliver. This side is 100% editable, right? Now, hold on, wrong slide. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's take this. Now, this is a CRM software model that I picked up from one of the leading CRM strategy softwares. Now, it has few parts. Now, I want to show you that most of the companies today implement CRM strategies through software. So it has hardware, then the delivery, management reporting. You can plug in sales goals, company vision, current systems, departments, and people and processes. When you put these together and remember these elements, hardware, delivery, management reporting, sales goals, company vision, current systems, people, departments, and processes. When you plug in these to a software or an app, you have the best CRM system in your hand. Now, you need to know this, right? Now, CRM is not just a concept, it's a management tool, right? It's a management tool, guys, remember. So these elements has to be in that software. Good old days, we used to do having people on board to manage consumers. We have a consumer department, but now we have a consumer department, yes, but it's totally on e-status, right? Okay, before we head into this, let's watch this commercial.
Hi, I'm When we were in RFP looking for the best-in-class ATS and CRM tool that would serve Xerox's needs, we considered lots of different tools. Matter of fact, over 10 of them. And we were looking for a tool that had both a CRM and an ATS capability in one, so we weren't stacking one solution on top of another. We did narrow it down to a top two, and Avature was favored out of those two. And I would say that, you know, the UI for Avature, as well as the ease in contextualizing and configuring, and the ability to kind of agilely solution problems within the tool became sort of the selling point for us. The automation within Avature and the power to auto-populate fields and create actions that will generate automated workflows for your candidates, your hiring managers, and anyone really using the tool has been one of the biggest eye-opening pieces of the Avature offering. The automation within Avature has allowed us to save hours of typically manual processes. Those hours have obviously translated into a money savings as well. With implementation of any new tool, there's always growing pains. However, the Avature team bent over backwards during our implementation phase to meet our ridiculous requirements of timeline and the various functionalities we wanted active in a very short time. We were very impressed with their ability to implement quickly. Having been live for a year and a half, while we're super excited about what we've built so far, we're also looking forward into the future of what we want to build with Avature next. And some of the aspects of the system that we would love to see and come to fruition with Xerox is video interviewing, as well as chatbot technology. And in 2022, I think Avature is going to be rolling out a lot of new exciting solutions around the HR core space, and we're really excited to see what those are all about.
Yeah, so that's Xerox CRM. Now another video for you. We'll see how that explains this whole diagram.
Coke versus Pepsi, Edison versus Tesla, sperm whales versus giant squids. The world is full of famous rivalries that divide conversations and communities. One of the long-standing rivalries in business IT is Microsoft Dynamics CRM versus Salesforce, two leading customer relationship management vendors whose solutions are strikingly hard to differentiate. There are certainly other mega vendors that account for large portions of the CRM market, but because these two are so comparable in price, target business type, and user experience, they constantly end up pitted against each other. There are four categories we'll look at today: system and pricing, platform, integrations, and features. The core feature sets of both systems are extremely similar. Both products can easily handle basic contact and account management, social customer service, territory management, and sales forecasting. Both systems also offer their own app marketplace, where you can choose from thousands of additional business tools that extend your CRM's usability or better align it with your industry. Since they're primarily licensed in software as a service versions, Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics can scale in both directions, depending on your functionality needs and business size, although they're more commonly used by large or rapidly growing companies. Systems and pricing. The nucleus of Salesforce CRM system is Sales Cloud, a web-based application that helps companies leverage multi-channel relationships for business growth. Salesforce also offers Service Cloud for customer service and case management, and marketing automation through their Marketing Cloud applications. Businesses also have the option of choosing any of the individual modules or bundling them together and paying a lump sum per month. Marketing Cloud, or Pardot, is cost-intensive as an add-on, but Salesforce does offer a Sales and Service Cloud bundle at a more comparable industry price. The packaging for Microsoft Dynamics CRM is a bit different. Their core CRM package, Dynamics CRM Online Professional, assumes integration of sales and service, which is a roundabout way of saying you're going to pay less. That said, if you need more comprehensive service features, such as social customer service, web chat, or a ticketing system, you have to pay more for their Parature add-on. Similarly, Dynamics Marketing Automation is an add-on module, although there is the more expensive option to bundle all three for an end-to-end suite. Salesforce was built from the ground up to operate as a cloud application. That's great if you like to store your data on a remote server and use browser-based software, but not so great if you'd rather own the license outright and host the software on your own servers. Microsoft Dynamics is a little more flexible when it comes to implementation. They offer CRM in a fully cloud-based system, privately hosted, or even on-premise depending on your needs. Integrations. Usually the general consensus is that Salesforce has the upper hand when it comes to building your CRM out or optimizing it for its specific industry needs. There are over 2,600 applications available in the Salesforce App Exchange. The Microsoft Dynamics App Store has a steadily growing community, but still pales in comparison. Salesforce also has its own partner program, which helps connect businesses with developers to build custom solutions on the Salesforce One platform. On the other hand, if you're already invested in a lot of Microsoft technology, such as Office 365, Outlook, SharePoint, or SQL Server, you might consider Dynamics in the interest of interoperability. While Salesforce did add a handful of Microsoft plugins to their palette a few years ago, Dynamics provides more thorough integrations and better native functionality. Features. The 2015 update of Microsoft Dynamics CRM raised the bar in several areas. The release brought enhancements to the social listening module, including sentiment analysis and inclusion of news sources. Dynamics also bridged their sales and marketing functionality by giving separate items visibility and editing permissions through a sales collaboration panel. However, there are still a few things that Salesforce can do that Dynamics can't, such as sales performance management, partner management, and data governance tools. Depending on your company's size, data needs, and global reach, these may or may not be the deal breakers. Neither of these two CRMs is necessarily better than the other. Both offer industry-leading features and a scalable platform, as well as the ability to custom build a unique solution with optional modules and add-ons from their online stores. Your decision should be based on what business system you already have in place, what features your teams can use to excel, and how much you're willing to spend. If you'd like to learn more about Dynamics,
Right, so that's the comparison of the two CRMs that been worldwide use, Microsoft Dynamics versus the Salesforce CRM system. So it's very simple that you can understand as to how the CRM systems works, right? Okay. Right, service failure impact. The last few slides that I'm going to discuss today. The impact of service failure and recovery. Resolving customer problems effectively has a strong impact on customer satisfaction, loyalty, word of mouth communication, bottom line performance. Now, why I'm still using Airtel? Why can't I use Dialog? Or why can't I use Hush? I'm not saying that those networks are not good. They're brilliant, but there's something triggers me to keep on using Airtel for the past so many years. Like, let me see, for the past 8 years or so. Yeah, right. Why? Because every time when I get stuck, Airtel comes to the solution, and I don't see a problem with that. Now that's why I'm loyal to Airtel. So resolving customer problems effectively has a strong impact on customer satisfaction, loyalty, word of mouth communication, bottom line performance. Right. Service recovery, the impact of service failure and recovery, how customer respond to service failure, customer recovery expectations, switch versus staying following service recovery. Now, so what are service recovery strategies? Service guarantees. Now, these are all have to be implemented if you have a service failure ASAP. Right, you have to be absolutely quick because service can't be touched or feel. Product එකක් fail වුණා නම් ටිකක් මොකක් හරි replacement එකක් හරි දෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි service එකක් fail වුණොත් replacement එකක් දෙන්න බෑ because it's absolutely psychological. Right, people are objective driven, goal driven. If the goals are not met through the given this thing, through the given category, definitely there'll be a gap in the mind. So you need to plug it absolutely quickly. Right, if the service is not given properly, that service entity won't last long. Service providers, if they have internal conflicts, internal environment conflicts, then again the service organization won't last long. right? Because the consumers will communicate, and the word of mouth will take the message further and damage the service reputation. Now, if you look at Singer, um, many of the banks, if you look at most of the big service industries, how they are doing their business for a very long time, because the service factor is absolutely fast, right? So people switch to a better service entity. Now, service recovery strategies, there can be many strategies, guys, but you need to deliver. Okay, these are very theoretical explanation, but I'll take you through. Act quickly, provide adequate explanations, treat customer fairly, right? Cultivate relationship with customers, right? Learn from recovery experiences, right? Learn from lost customers, make the service fail safe, encourage and track complaints. Now, these are service recovery strategies. You can implement anything you want, but as long as you keep the customer focused to the service, right? And that goes into process recovery, customer recovery, and employee recovery, right? So process recovery, customer satisfaction versus productivity, fixing customers versus fixing problems, objective extent of failure versus perceived magnitude of failure. Now, when a customer service is failed, you need to analyze the magnitude of that failure, right? That's the process recovery. Then customer recovery or marketing side. Complainer as an enemy versus a friend, rewarding customer acquisition versus customer retention, short-term versus long-term focus. Now that has to be on marketing side. If you take employee recovery, circulating versus suppressing feedback, unconditional versus conditional empowerment, aiming for versus pretending no failure. Now these are certain operations that that can implement on service recovery strategies, right? So guys, it's a very short lecture that I have given to you because I wanted you all to go through the service experience quickly, and I wanted you all to visit certain entities and question their service abilities. And if I were you, I will definitely visit these entities to see how the service operations takes place, right? So give me a minute, I'll have another video for you. Stay tuned.
Sometimes bad stuff happens, even to the greats, the Ritz-Carltons, the Amazons, the Apples of the world. Sometimes things go south, and there's a customer experience failure. But what makes these companies different is they recognize that they need not resign themselves in the face of a failure like that to creating a brand terrorist or even a dissatisfied customer. What they recognize is that if they overcorrect on the recovery, if they knock the ball out of the park on the recovery, that they can actually create a peak in the experience that eclipses the negativity of the failure itself. And it's been shown in studies that if you do this well, you sometimes can actually create a more loyal customer after the failure and recovery than you had before. So the story I'm going to tell you to illustrate this, I like to leave it for last because not only does it illustrate this principle, it actually illustrates some of the others we've talked about, things like advocacy, stirring emotion. And I can tell you this is a true story because it happened to me. It's a personal story. And it goes back to when I was an executive at a Fortune 100 insurance company. This company, like I'm sure you're familiar with, some of your companies probably do it, each year they'd hold a big event for their top performing producers. And it was a really big deal. This one was being held at the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida. The CEO was going to be there. The board of directors was going to be there. They had arranged a black tie formal dinner for one night of the event. And, you know, with black tie dinners, for guys, it's easy. If you own a tux, you take it out of the closet. If you don't, you rent one. But for women, it's a lot more difficult. And my wife was actually accompanying me on the trip, and so she was stressing for weeks before, trying to find the perfect formal evening gown to wear to this black tie event. And she finally found something, and she bought it. She bought this dress, she bought accessories and some shoes to go with it. She came home, she was so excited she was going to look beautiful at the black tie dinner. So the time came for the conference. We flew down from Connecticut, where we live, down to Naples, Florida. And we're unpacking our bags in our hotel room, and my wife discovers that her formal evening gown got all wrinkled in transit. So she sends it out to the Ritz-Carlton dry cleaning service. Well, it comes back the next day, and I kid you not, it's the size of a Barbie doll. Now, I am not a woman, but to hear my wife tell this story, this is the doomsday scenario. It does not get worse than this. This is even worse than showing up at the event and seeing somebody wearing the same dress. Because the event is just a few days away, and my wife has absolutely nothing to wear now, and she is freaking out with a capital F. So I call down to the Ritz-Carlton front desk, and I ask to speak to the hotel manager. He gets on the phone, and I explain to him the situation. And I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, "Mr. Pico, I am going to take care of this for you." Now let's just pause there for a moment. How often is it when interacting with a business that you hear somebody take that level of ownership? Utter those words. Not just utter those words, but mean those words. Not just mean those words, but deliver on those words. But boy, did he deliver, because the next thing I know, he had arranged for a limo to pick up my wife and to take her to the local high-end shopping mall in Naples, where there were stores like Neiman Marcus, Saks, Nordstrom. And they had arranged for a personal shopper to greet her at every store, spend as much time as she needed to find a new formal evening gown. She was out all day. She finally found a gown she fell in love with at Nordstrom. She bought it. She bought some shoes and accessories to go with it. She came home, and she came back to the hotel room, and she was just thrilled. She felt so much better. She was excited for the event again. She was going to look beautiful. Here's the kicker. Ritz-Carlton paid for the whole thing. They paid for the limo to take her to the shopping malls. They paid for the dress, the accessories, the shoes. They paid for it all. Pretty impressive service recovery, right? Wait, it gets better. So it's the night of the event. The event starts at 6 o'clock. We're in our room. It's about 5 o'clock. I'm getting dressed on this side of the room. My wife's getting dressed on the other side of the room. I'm putting on my tux. Suddenly I hear an audible gasp from the other side of the room. I go over to my wife and I say, "Rebecca, what's the matter?" She points down to the bottom of her evening gown and says, "John, Nordstrom forgot to remove the anti-shoplifting ink cartridge. It's still on the dress." Well, quick-thinking husband that I am, I said to her, "Oh, Becca, don't worry about it. Nobody will notice it." She didn't buy that. She didn't buy that. So what do? I pick up the phone, I call to the front desk, I ask to speak to the Ritz-Carlton hotel manager. He gets on the line, I tell him what's going on. What does he say to me? "Mr. Pico, I am going to take care of this for you." 20 minutes later, there's a knock at our hotel room door. I open it up. It's the Ritz-Carlton hotel manager, and there beside him is the Nordstrom employee who he summoned from the store with the ink cartridge removal device. The Nordstrom employee kneels down before my wife, clips off the ink cartridge. There's no hole in her dress. There's no ink spillage. We've got 20 minutes to spare. Pretty cool service recovery, wouldn't you say? Wait, it gets better. We go down to the event. It starts at 6. We're there a few minutes early. We find our table seating assignment, and we go and we sit down at our table. And I have my head down looking at the menu, deciding what I'm going to order that evening, and suddenly I hear clapping. And I look up, and there at the end of the table is the Ritz-Carlton hotel manager and members of his staff, clapping, applauding in admiration of how beautiful my wife looks. It was like that scene from the movie Pretty Woman. Do you remember that? Julia Roberts had to get an evening gown for Richard Gere's event, and she went out, she came back to the hotel, and the hotel manager was there giving her a standing ovation with his staff. That actually happened to me and my wife. Pretty cool service recovery, right? That's the end of the story. It doesn't get better than that. But I don't just want this to be an entertaining tale for you. Here's what I want you to take away from it. I want you to think about what was going through the head of that Ritz-Carlton hotel manager. Because at some point in this process, he ceased to focus on the mechanics of the experience, the mechanics of the recovery. How do I fix Mrs. Pico's dress? Or how do I get her a new one? At some point, he stopped focusing on that, and he started to focus on something along the lines of this. In light of the circumstances, how do I make Mr. and Mrs. Pico feel special? And that must be when he came up with this brilliant idea to go down to the event with his staff and to give my wife a standing ovation. And it was sheer brilliance, because by virtue of doing that, he made sure that wherever in the world I go and I tell this story, I'm telling a story not about how Ritz-Carlton shrunk my wife's evening gown to the size of a Barbie doll. I'm telling a story about how Ritz-Carlton engineered the greatest service recovery in the history of the world. And I just add to the aura and legend around Ritz-Carlton. But here is my counsel to you. My counsel to you is that any day of the week, you and your colleagues can embrace the same approach as this Ritz-Carlton hotel manager, focusing not just on the mechanics of the experience you're delivering, but also thinking in terms of, how do I make my customer feel special? It makes all the difference.
Yeah, see, guys, I actually told you many stories as to how service recovery is being done by myself. Remember that foreigner with the passport, which I delivered around 1 a.m. in the morning, and how he bought 20 phones. And very recently, Rajagiriya Fab, we bought a an iced coffee. That's a bottle they give, and we discovered that iced coffee doesn't taste good. And my wife picked up the phone and called, and the manager answered, and he said, "Madam, can you please send me the copy of that bill?" Immediately she WhatsApped to him, and he called within 10 minutes and said, "Yes, we removed about 5 bottles that has that particular taste. We broke all the bottles that was in the fridge," and he sent us some photographs of those bottles that been opened and tested, and they found out that about 5 bottles is having that taste, or maybe closer to the expiry, or whatever. There's some bacterial thing has gone into it. And he said, "Thank you very much. Please come tomorrow and see me." And I couldn't made a visit on the next day itself, but I called him and said, "Look, I'm not going to, I might not be able to come on the next day, but when I visit you, Fab, next time, I'll meet you." Then on a Saturday, we were all dressed up and ready to go for a cricket match, which my daughter was attending, and said, "Look, we'll take breakfast from Fab Rajagiriya." And we dropped into Rajagiriya, and there was the manager, and he said, "Buy anything you want and just let me know." So, it's not good to buy whatever you want and charge them, because Fab and myself has a relationship, and a very honorable relationship, because Fab is part of Maliban Biscuits, or the Maliban family. So we bought some stuff, and as we were walking out from the door, a lady came and handed over 2 bottles of iced coffees, right? And said, "This is for you, and it's free and it's fresh." Now, if that doesn't happen to me, I won't relate this to you today. That's absolute brilliant customer service. There are a lot of things like this happen in our lives as organizations taking care of us, right? So, Taking care of a consumer, a customer, is ultimately the key for you to be in business, right? Mind you that, right? Okay, I'll get you another case study. Hold on.
Customer service is the most important thing we do here at Tout Limited. It is the biggest thing that will drive our purpose, which is service, quality and value. The service one is absolutely key to making us win against the other competitors. So we really want you to be able to embrace the best way to perform customer service. To do that, we've tried to make two different simple analogies for you to be able to remember to put into play when you're at work. SAT-NAV. SAT stands for smile, ask, thank. Every customer deserves all three of these.
Hello there.
Smile. Every customer deserves a smile at the beginning of every interaction, inside or outside the store.
Find the vinegar, please.
Certainly, of course, yes. If you'd like to follow me. Now it's just to the right here. There we are.
Thank you.
Is that all right for you?
Ask. Every customer should be asked one question to begin a conversation and really begin engaging with them.
That's fine, thank you very much.
OK. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's all for today, thank you.
Thank. No matter what situation, we must always leave with a positive comment, always a thank you, and something like have a great evening.
All right, well, you have a nice day.
Thank you.
Take care.
This is equally as important for all of our team. Always remember SatNav when talking to your team. The more you smile, ask, and thank each other, the better our relationships will be, and the better we can make our place to work. So, smile, ask, thank. 3 easy steps for every customer and everyone else in the team.
In one of the training sessions, they actually taught us sat-nav, so you've got smile, ask, thank, and particularly if it's on the shop floor, you've got the nav bit because you're taking them for a journey, sort of showing where the product is, asking them if they want to see anything else and thanking them for their time in the store.
When a customer comes into Budgeons, they feel welcomed, they feel like, you know, this is a friendly environment, a friendly atmosphere, and it makes them feel like, you know, this is somewhere quite homey and local.
Good afternoon.
Hi there.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. You all right?
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Did you find everything you were looking for today?
Yeah, it's my second time being in today, mine. So
Really?
there we
I
go.
do that all the time. Would you like a bag?
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right, so just these 3, that comes to £5 and 3 pence then,
Lovely.
please.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. See you
Have a
then.
nice day. Bye-bye.
You look at other brands and they don't interact as much with their customers. We like to give customers more.
You try and give them the shopping experience that they're after, you know, and the shopping experience that you would like to have yourself, which is a big part of it. You know, you treat people how you want to be treated, and that's what we're encouraged to do.
Whenever I work, we get the same people come in, and they're always coming up to me saying how much, you know, how good their day's been, you know, and talking to me about my day. The customer service that we give makes them feel a lot more like they can be friends with us rather than we're just some kind of robotic operators.
Hi, excuse me.
Sorry, I'm busy at the minute, love.
Sorry, I was wondering if you could help me find the vinegar.
It's over there somewhere, I think.
Size tab 3. Where's your change, love?
Thank you. Bit short here.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Upselling is about letting our customers know about some of the great things we have to offer. We are not about pushing people to buy things. Some retailers have gained a really bad name for trying to push things on people. We only want to make people aware of the great things we may have to offer to help them.
Oh, these are actually on offer at the minute. They're 2 for £3. Do you want me to pick one up? Or?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. All right. Actually, this one's just right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. All right, I'll put them through together.
Oh, it's going to be a fight over who's the snowman and the Santa now. Okay, there we go.
Your manager will help you with any possible opportunities to try this out. So that's how well things work when everything's going great, but sometimes things don't quite always go so well. We're in retail, it's real life, things go wrong. So when they do, we need to have an approach for how to deal with things when they go wrong. That's where we want our customers to last. LAST stands for listen, apologise, solve, thank.
Excuse me?
Hello there.
What happened with this chicken?
Oh, really?
If something has gone wrong, someone will want to tell you about it, and sometimes let off steam. The only way to deal with this is to keep listening until they've calmed down and got their point across. Interrupting will only ever make things worse. Even in the most irate people, they'll calm down if you simply listen and try to understand for long enough.
The problem.
It smells.
Oh.
I'm not prepared to feed my family this.
Okay.
Then we need to apologise. Not that we have done anything wrong, but that this has happened, and that we really want to help put it right.
Right, okay. Well, I'm terribly sorry about that, madam. If you'd like to follow me, I'll get a supervisor to sort it out as soon as possible for you. Terribly sorry about this. It's
Then you need to look to solve the problem. In a lot of cases, this could be calling for your team leader or duty manager. This is your way of solving the problem.
Very much.
I'm terribly sorry about everything, madam.
No problem. Thank
Oh,
you very
well,
much for sorting it.
that's not a problem. Thank you very much. Take care.
Before they leave or go to talk to a manager, we must thank them. Just as everyone still deserves a thank you, especially if something has gone wrong.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Because actually sometimes you really see yourself changing a customer's mood. It can be a little bit of a game. You see someone come in, they look quite moody, and you actually want to turn them around, so when they're walking away, you do actually get a little bit of a smile from them. It's actually quite rewarding.
Yeah, I've used it a few times, obviously thanking them and apologising for the problem. I always see them come back, so it's good.
We really need our customers to last. They're the people who believe in us and help us to build a great place to work. It's only by giving them the best customer service, even when things go wrong, that we'll achieve this. If we do our job at making them last well enough, after our final thank you, they will actually want to thank us back. At Touts Budgeons, we believe customer service and our commitment to our teams will always be the key to our success. I really hope you enjoy working with us and have great fun with your team.
Yep, so that's about it. And it's time to finish the lecture. It's a very short lecture, but since no one has turned up, we had 1 hour for discussions, but there's no one in the vicinity. So good luck. Enjoy your weekend.